As cities and worldwide grapple with rapid urbanization, the integration of green infrastructure and cultural heritage preservation is more crucial than ever. Today, we are thrilled to explore a leading example from Vienna, where innovative citizen-driven initiatives are shaping a more sustainable and resilient urban future. We have two fantastic speakers from the City of Vienna who will present their work on the Vienna Climate Team, a participatory approach engaging citizens in urban sustainability and climate action. After the presentations, we will have a Q&A and discussion session where we encourage you to share your thoughts and any questions that you may have. For our first speaker, we have Ms. Katerina. She works for the Office for Participation and Empowerment of the City of Vienna, with experience in natural resource management and governance innovation. Katerina will provide insights into how the Vienna Climate Team fosters inclusive decision-making for climate action. Welcome, Katerina, and thank you very much. We're very happy to have you here.
Yes, thank you, Jade. And with me today is also my colleague, Tjana Matic, but unfortunately her audio doesn't work. So it will be me presenting today our project. We both work for the City of Vienna, and we are engaged in the Vienna Climate Team project. So what is the Vienna Climate Team? It's a participation project for climate mitigation and adaptation. And it's a project by the city itself. It was launched in 2022 as a pilot. And then in 2022 and 2023, we were a pilot project. And now since 2024 and 5, we are a standard project for the City of Vienna, which is great on the one hand for our whole participation area, but also to reach our climate goals. So this is the rough overview, and we are always, because you see here the name is Margareten Simmering Otterkring next to the 2022. This is because we're always active in 3 Viennese districts, and in total we have 23 districts in the City of Vienna. So what is the Vienna Climate Team? It's foremost, it's a participatory process and it's a team effort. So here you can see a picture of one of our co-creative workshops. So we also raise awareness for the topic of climate change, climate adaptation and mitigation. Then what is so important about us is that we have a participatory budget. And this is about 20 euros per district resident. And our districts that we work with each year have very different sizes. So some of them have like 600,000 inhabitants or residents, and others have up to 200,000. So we also have very different budgets per year, ranging from under 1 million to up to 3 million euros. We have 3 central goals as a project. First of all, it's obviously systemic climate protection, but then we are also about strengthening democracy and social justice. And what we also do is we are a governance innovation project, because this aspect is sometimes a bit overseen, but we at the Magistrat of the City of Vienna is really big. We have a lot of different departments that have to work together. And within our project, all these experts from the different departments come together and work together on raising issues. We break down the topic of climate change into 4 fields of action. One is climate-friendly mobility, then using renewable energy. When we talk about redesigning our streets, we call it designing a climate-resilient city, and everything about reuse, repair, so circular economy is under everyday sustainability. That's our term for this. So these are our 4 fields of actions that the residents can hand in their ideas for the 3 districts. Our project runs along 5 phases through more or less a year. So we start in June and August, and then with the preparation of the whole process, because we have to work together with our districts. They're like project partners, and then multipliers in the districts, which I will tell you more about in a second. And then in September, October, so also when the school year starts, we start our collection of ideas phase. So we ask all the residents, what are your ideas for better climate in your district? Or we say Kretzel, which is a smaller part of the district itself. And so we collect the ideas from the residents. Then from November to February, we check them if they're feasible and doable. Then in March, April, so this is what's happening right now, we develop these ideas further into projects within co-creative workshops. And then in May and June, we have one of our highlights, which is a representatively drawn citizen jury that then selects the winning projects out of all the projects that were developed. And after this jury selected the projects, they will be implemented within the following 2 years. So this was just a rough overview, and I will go into depth about these phases in a second. We have some fundamental working principles that we work along, which is broad-based process. So everyone should and can participate. So we use diverse participation formats to ensure that. Then we are inclusive and outreaching. So we, for instance, we have a cross-media activation. We're in the digital as well as in the analog. Then we have a broad target group specific activation. So we go outside, we reach out to people and try this through various methods. We have this representatively drawn citizen jury that I will also tell you more about. And we cooperate with our so-called multipliers, which are institutions and initiatives to reach the difficult to reach in case of for the City of Vienna. And then what we also do a lot is we facilitate a change of perspectives, not just with the people, with the residents themselves, but also with all the stakeholders we work together, and also with the experts from the City of Vienna that work with and for us. And here in the upper corner, you see what is always important to us is to ensure that the time and the location that we hold our workshops, that they are central in the district, the location, so that everyone can access it. Then we have always childcare to ensure that this is not an issue. And we compensate also our citizen jury for their expenses. Yeah. So now I go into each phase in more depth. First of all, it's the collection of ideas, which happens in September, October. Here it still says 2024. It happens each year. So what we do in this phase is we use diverse participation formats to reach as many people as possible in the district and to motivate them to submit ideas to our projects. One of our main events is the Climate Team Forum and the Action Days, the so-called Action Days. Here you see some of our elements of participation. So we do some on-site activations. So we do walks, we do workshops, we have the forum, we reach out to people. We have here some numbers from the last 2 years, so from our pilot phase. We had like 30 to 40 activated multipliers. So these are our initiatives, our organization, like youth groups, but also religious groups, then pensions clubs. So all diverse multipliers that reach our hard to reach groups. And we had about 40 to 50 events in each year. Then we hand out our so-called climate team box to our multipliers. The climate team box is a toolbox filled with information material, so that this box shall help our multipliers to inform and to discuss and to inspire the people they work with. So these groups that we as a city can't really reach. And also, it should also help to develop an idea and also to submit one. And then how to submit an idea is through an idea card. So this is the analog method, and we mail these cards to around 150,000 households per year, and we especially mail them to households where we think there's a certain need, so where our groups live that we want to reach. So we also distribute our cards at the event, and they are also distributed through our multipliers. And if you do not want to or cannot hand in your idea card analog, you can also use our digital platform. So we have a participation platform to submit your ideas, to download all the materials that we are using, also multilingual basic texts. Then this is our outreach work. So here you see a picture of how this usually looks like. We have this, we use this aerial photography of our districts, and we just invite people to take part. We walk up to them. It's very low threshold. And yeah, you can drink a coffee with us and we start a conversation with you. Then the town hall meetings, district forum, it is more, it is not so low threshold. So it's actually like, it's a forum, you have to come, you have to sign up for it. And this is, it's special because here you have the opportunity to speak to the politics and also to experts on the topic of climate and participation. So here you can see our city councillor, and who is answering questions from the audience. And what is special about it is that you do not have to hand in your questions in advance. You can just ask, and it's moderated. Yes. And this happens in every of the 3 districts. So here's some pictures again, like a picture of one of the other forums, our outreach work, and also our multipliers, like a school in the upper right picture. They do a lot of different events. Then it follows our check of ideas. So you have to imagine there are about 1,700 ideas were handed in this year. And all these ideas, it's a lot. So we have to check them, we have to sort them thematically and spatially, because some of them are connected and belong together. And then for more transparency, we have a format where we exhibit all of the ideas that were handed in, so that everyone sees what ideas were brought to us to ensure the transparency. And then we have a workshop together with the idea providers, the district, our multipliers, and our experts from the city. And together they decide which of these ideas that are then exhibited should be brought together and which will be worked on further, so that we reduce the number of ideas and we focus on a certain number of ideas to develop them into projects. And after the selection of ideas within this workshop, the experts from the departments look at them, so at their feasibility and implement if they're implementable. So we have one of these workshops in each district. So talking about the experts, so we have many people in the background that support us. Here you see some pictures of them. We have over 65 experts from the City of Vienna across more than 25 different departments and also city-affiliated companies which are involved. And we do not only prepare our multipliers or our idea providers, but we also prepare our colleagues for their tasks in our project, because they sometimes for the first time come together and sit on the same table as a citizen and work together on a project. So we have our onboarding workshops with them. And here you see a picture in the upper right corner. It's a picture of onboarding workshops with the experts. Then you see them deciding or discussing which ideas should be further discussed in the down left photo. And they also are always there to support our citizens, like here in the picture on the right down corner, where they help our citizen jury deciding which projects to choose. Then, so what is happening now in March and in April is that we have our project development phase, which means that from these ideas that are clustered thematically or spatially, that they are further developed into projects. So this is a very big co-creative workshop per each district, where all these ideas that we had are then further developed into concrete projects or concrete initiatives. And these projects are then also checked for their feasibility to see if they're implementable. So we also have to put a certain cost to each of the projects, for instance, so that the jury knows what they can choose during their decision phase. Here you see some pictures again to make it a bit more, to see how this actually looks like in practice. So in 2023, we did these workshops outside. This is why you see some outside pictures and some also in some inside pictures how the workshops look like. So here on the table in the right picture, you see there's some experts and they bring their laptops with them to explain why you can plant a tree in a certain spot and why you can't. And then we have some pictures of the street. So we just help each other to have a better understanding of each other's needs or what they have to do. Exactly. And then May and June, we have the citizen jury. So this is a representatively drawn jury per each district. And they decide then with all these projects that were developed, which of them they want to choose within the budget limit. So we have a certain budget. Let's imagine the 3 million. So they fill up this budget with different projects that they choose. We have a kickoff with all the 3 citizen juries. So there's again 1 jury per district. And then each jury has its own jury weekend where they decide on the projects. Yes, what is very important is that the selection process for this jury considers socio-demographic factors. So we want to represent each district. And what we developed also to kind of, for the jury members to have a common understanding of the topic of climate change, we developed the so-called Wiener Klimamosaic, which is based on the Climate Fresk workshop. Maybe some of you have heard about this. This is a workshop where you learn about climate change and the effects and the causes and how everything is connected. So this is a workshop that we do like for 4 hours straight, and it's moderated and in small groups, and it's very effective. So because we want to ensure that everyone, no matter what the background is, has a common understanding of the issue. And it's specifically tailored to the city of Vienna. So we use all the current data and also the goals, what we want to reach, like climate neutrality in 2040. So it's a game especially for this city. And then when you played the whole game through and you understand what is the effect, the causes and the effect of climate change, you also see what are some levers. So where you can act now as a citizen jury to make a change. Yeah. As I told you before, it's very important to us that participation is accessible for as many as possible. So the time and location are chosen accordingly. The childcare is provided, and you get a compensation, which is 50 euros per day. So in total, 150 euros for each member. So how do we select the people? So what is important here is that you must be a primary resident in the district, and you have to be 16 or above. So like this is the age where you can vote in Austria also. But this is the important difference. So for this citizen jury, you do not have to be an Austrian citizen, because in Vienna we have the issue that the right to vote is quite limited. So not 30% of all Viennese are not allowed to vote on national level. So this is quite special then also for some people who are normally not allowed to vote in this country, that they can participate in this jury and decide on how to use this money, this participatory budget. We then make a representative cross-section on all the people that write back to us based on gender, age, educational attainment, employment status, migration background, and income. Because first we write to you, then you fill out a questionnaire answering all of these questions that is sent then back, and then out of what is sent back, then they decide how to put together the jury to have a representative jury. So we send out about 2,000 letters or 3,000. This is a bit dependent on the size of the district, and then we have 20 to 25 jury members plus 5 additional members if one of them can't make it. Yes. Here you see again some pictures in the left corner. They play, and the upper two pictures, they play the climate mosaic. You see how you put the cards there, and then you connect all the different cards. And then in the 2 pictures on the bottom, you see on the left side how the citizen jury members decide so they discuss the different projects and they decide about them. And what is very important, and this is shown in the picture on the right side, is that it's a sociocratic decision making. So everyone has to agree, which is thumbs up, or you must be okay with the decision, which is some thumb to the side, but you cannot have a strong. There can't be any strong opinion against it, so you should not be against it. And to reach this kind of agreement among the 20 members, this takes some time. So this takes us 2 days for them to have a final decision. But it's absolutely worth it, because then everyone stands behind the decision about the money. Here's a picture of the whole 3 citizen juries from last year, from our kickoff event. Yes, so it's a great and a very diverse group too. And then it's about the implementation. So now the jury has decided on what projects to choose from all these different projects that were developed within the certain budget. And then they hand over the selected projects to the politics. So this is the city councillor and also the district head. And now it's again in the hands of the city to implement this project within more or less 2 years. So starting from June for 2 years. And now the responsibility for implementing these projects is within the responsible department. This must not be ours. It can be another department. And yeah, we have a big event, a climate team celebration, and then we have a lot of different workshops where we discuss the operational steps for implementation of these projects. And you have to imagine that within the first 2 years, these 2 pilot years, 53 different projects were developed and are now being implemented or already implemented. So I brought some pictures of already implemented projects. They're quite diverse. So we have here, for instance, the greening of facades in public housing. This picture is like half a year old now. It looks great. Everything is green and looks really nice. Or we also inform on facade greening together with a company that provides this trailer. We also redesign whole streets. So this is also already finished. We redesigned the Friedrich-Kaiser-Gasse. And we had a nature trail at Schloss Neugebäude, which was revived. So it was renewed kind of. But then we also have repair cafes. We have workshops. We have like a whole diverse range of projects. Yes, this was it for the Vienna Climate Team project. I'm very happy to answer any questions you might have about the project. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Katharina. That was a wonderful presentation. We already have the first question in the chat. Thank you, everyone. I was checking the list of participants and I noticed several EURETA members and also members from the consortium of the project from POCITYF. The first question, it says, great work, congratulations, from Carolina Goncalves. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing it correctly. Carolina, you might correct me. She said, do you manage to keep citizens engaged throughout the entire process, or do you notice a decline in participation? And second, what do you think are the best strategies to maintain engagement through this initiative? So
yes, so what we do is, I didn't tell you so much about it, is our participation platform. So we have all these digital ideas that are put on the platform, but then also all the ideas that come to us in an analog form, we also digitalize them to kind of synthesize these 2 processes, to have this cross-media ensured. So we have a big communication campaign. We have newsletters, we have blog articles, we write messages to all our idea givers through the platform. But yes, it's still a challenge to keep people interested. So we see, for instance, when we have a citizen jury, we expected them to, and when we then implemented the projects, we thought that the jury would be very interested in seeing how the project is then implemented, how it looks like, to come to an opening event. But we experienced that the interest drops quite quickly. So we just 1 or 2 people were then coming to our event or were interested in. But I guess that's just how it is. We have to accept it, and we also always say you don't have to be part of our project for the whole phase, for the whole year. You can also just give us your idea, because we are the city, and we then make something out of it. You do not have to stay committed for the whole term. But we try various different formats and methods to keep people interested, to keep them participating. Yeah, so this for us is also very important. what we also did and do, sorry, is that we evaluate ourselves a lot, so to optimize the process. So we also always ask the people that participate, hey, how can we make it better for you? What would you wish for? So we also do this. And then the second, yeah, I think this also
Yeah, you
answered
can go for the second
questions.
question as well.
Yes, how do we recruit citizens? So various methods. We go out in the street, we talk to people directly, we approach them, we do outreach work, but also the city has a lot of social media channels. We call people to participate. Then we use these multipliers, so these initiatives, these organizations, and we work together very closely with them, so they also help us to reach the people. And the district leaders. The district itself is a very important partner for us. Yes. And what are the main barriers working with citizens? Yeah, I would.
Yes.
Yes. I would say, for instance, like workshops, like where we experienced what we reach a lot of people in the idea collection phase, also very diverse group of people, because we go out and we try to speak, because we have sometimes a bit the language barrier is an issue for us.
Mm.
So, but we can kind of handle this quite well in the idea collection phase. But then when it comes to developing things further and going to a workshop format where you have to register and you sit on a table with an expert and you have this creates a barrier sometimes for people because you have to articulate yourself in a certain way so we try to break these barriers. Like we went outside, we put this exhibition in public spaces to kind of make it easier to just come by and give your feedback to our project. But yeah, I would say the formats and language can be a barrier. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Maybe I will jump in if there is not another question from the people attending, perhaps to ask about the impact of how do you think that the citizen engagement through participatory budget has changed the climate projects in Vienna? Is it for good or for bad? Do you manage a change before the Vienna climate thing and after the Vienna climate thing in the implementation of the projects itself?
Yes, definitely. So what has a positive change on the project implementation itself is all these background things happening that you don't see when you look at this just on the implementation process projects. For instance, with all these departments that work together for us, these 25 departments, and all these 60 to 80 different experts that work with us, they also implement the projects later. So when they sit together in these workshops and they develop these projects together with the citizens, I think it makes a big difference then also for implementation. If you develop the project together and you really have an understanding for what the actual day-to-day reality and the need of the citizens is. So the whole exchange that we create and this change of perspectives that we want to enable for our workshops, I think this has a big effect on implementation, a positive effect. Yes, and also sometimes our project comes up with projects, so we create projects that you wouldn't have thought of, and then also all these ideas that come in that maybe aren't developed further, we still give them to the district leaders, so they have a great picture of what people in their district would wish for, or what would make sense for them. So for implementing other projects with just a different budget because we can't implement everything. Yes.
Yes, indeed. That was completely related to the next question that I was having for you. What kind of unexpected outcomes? But you already answered me with this projects that you maybe not were having in mind, but then came out to be quite well related to the Vienna climate team.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we had this nature trail and it was an abandoned area in one of the districts for a long time. And no one thought about it. But then there were some people who said, "Hey, there's this nature trail, and we can just just make it renew it
Yes.
through the Vienna climate team." And this was a great project. Yeah.
Great, thank you. Maybe the last one on my side, and I can give some space to some of our attendees, will be of what do you see climate team involving in the future? What in the next 5 years, what other kind of projects do you think will be interested, or maybe the structure of the Vienna climate team? Do you think it will evolve into another type of participation?
That would be awesome. So first of all, we were a pilot for 2 years. So now we are really happy that we became a standard procedure, which is something very special. So we hope that right now it looks good that we will be continuing for the next 5 years. So our wish, of course, is to have all the 23 Viennese districts participating at least once in our project. This would also be just fair, because now we have 9, and so we still have some years to go. And yeah, it would be great if this whole method of involving people more and opening the city structures up and sitting together at the table and developing projects together would also be a standard in also other topics, not just climate adaptation mitigation. Yes. So and also what I have to add is, because in the beginning, when you introduced us, you said we're from the Office of Participation and Empowerment. Also, this office as a whole came out of the Vienna climate team, because they saw a need for more participation and empowerment within the city of Vienna. Yes.
Very interesting. So it was not the Vienna climate team as a result of the office, it was the opposite.
Yes.
Nice. Very interesting. Okay. Thank you so much, Katharina. If we don't have, we sorry that Tiana didn't have the opportunity to talk, but we're very glad that she participated. Also, we'd like to thank all of our attendees. Is there any other question? Perhaps no. Okay, so then I'll say we can wrap up. Thank you so much to our speakers for sharing their expertise, and to all of you for engaging in today's discussion. We hope that this session has provided some valuable insights into how participatory approaches can drive sustainable and inclusive urban development. And please stay connected with us for our future working group meetings that we will have. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Katharina. Thank you so much, Diana.
Thank
Have
you
a
for
nice
having
day.
us. Have a nice day.
Bye-bye. Thank you, everyone. Bye.